Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Enrique here. Easy things to draw. Today we're gonna learn how to draw Batman Beyond. At least Terry McGinnis, in the outfit, Batman, essentially. Before that, though, really quick, I'm gonna talk about this. This is the Armadillo wristband. There's a wristband that we've been selling out of our stores for about a year. It was on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter made it pretty well, and it's in a couple of stores right now. One in New Zealand, one in London, I believe. Basically, it's supposed to hold your pencils. The reason it's so loose like that is because this one is actually for markers, but I don't have another one on me right now. And if you're going out traveling and sketching, you can put this thing on, and you can carry all your supplies. That's about it. Click on the website, and that's it for that right now. So let's get to business. Let's get to our main thing. We're gonna go over Terry McGinnis is his real name, but essentially Batman Beyond. This is actually a tutorial I was actually a little hesitant to do because, I mean, the look that we know of Batman Beyond is the look of the cartoon. I know there's comic book versions and things like that, but that look, the cartoon, is really what we know. And because he's totally painted black, we're gonna have to go more of in the shadow. We're gonna have to base it off shadow patterns instead of the actual structure and the line. So I'm gonna go over that really quick as I'm talking. So right now, let's draw a oval just for the whole head. Hopefully you can see that. I'm using a pencil, by the way. It doesn't matter what kind of pencil. All right. So let's get into it. I'm gonna draw this for the center line, looking a little bit to the left. His ears are pretty long. Hopefully you can see them in camera. Move this down. His ears are a lot longer than than the traditional Batman ears. Is that in the page? Yeah, close enough. Pretty long. And you know what? Right off the bat, try to get his general head shape. I would get a picture of that character and just copy the head shape, angle the jaw over here, until you commit it to memory. Angle this jaw. Bottom of the chin. Angle of that jaw too, going into the side of the cheek. You're going to split this where you had the circle before. You are going to split that into thirds about. You're going to find the front, kind of where the head plane changes. Where the forehead changes is a top plane and there's a side plane, the front plane. So you're going to top of the hair, where the hairline would be, and divide that from here into thirds. So like there maybe, ish. Yeah, close enough. All right. Let's get into the eye first. And like I said, this one could be a little different. You're not really drawing a lot of the line within the kind of you're not doing so much the line art, even though it is line art. You're following the shadow patterns, and that's going to affect his design because he's a totally black mask. So let me explain that as I'm drawing this. His eye has that cool triangle look that so many people have, so many characters have. Love it. Draw it on the other side as well. Try to even it out. Anger look here. The next thing I'm going to do is actually, the light would be coming for, let's say, from here. Somewhere around there. I'm going to place the shadow that would kind of come from this side. I'm sorry, not the shadow, the light. The light source hits his nose dead on. And since the nose itself is kind of a triangle, it would hit this side of the nose. I'm going to make that very kind of a graphic shape, just like in the cartoon. Because his nose is kind of is a triangle, a hole, and it'll be hitting this side of the triangle. So if you were to kind of break the A nose down, especially his nose, into like very, very simple shapes, it'd be something like this. You know, it'd come around up that corner, straight that way, and then back that way, you know? That's if you were to simplify it down. And so the light would come from this side, and it would hit just this corner. I hope that makes sense. And it seems to be like some double. He's always put with double lighting, so you know where you know, stuff's coming from. So there'd be like a light from this side and a light from. There'd be two light sources almost always they have him with. And this indicates kind of the cheekbone, the zygomatic arch. This is rolling back into the cheek. Stay with me here. I know this is a little difficult. Frontalis, which is the front of the forehead, it rolls into the forehead. Rolls back here into the bat wing. So the light's coming from here. And because it's coming from two, okay, the main light source, let's say, is coming from this side downward. But there's also a light source coming from the other side as well. And we'll go over that in a second too. We're just trying to get this one. That's gonna, the mouth part, the muzzle of the mouth of the human mouth. You can kind of simplify it by drawing a circle for the tooth cylinder. You know, the entire, you know, teeth. So what I'll do is that would also follow that right into the chin area. You could maybe do a little bit if you want or not, you know. So like what I said is the light is hitting it, is hitting his head, and is hitting the side of his ear all the way down the side of his head into the cheek, into the zygomatic arch, which is the cheekbone, and it's going to hit the muzzle of the mouth. And that's why it's making that shape. But we're just simplifying it, and the cartoon especially simplifies that in a very, very attractive way, you know, very attractive way. You got to make these simplified shapes attractive. That's why I love. I really wish I knew more about animation because of that. They're so good at taking something and simplifying it down. These character designs in cartoons are so good, you know. And now I'm going to complete the side of the head. Trying to connect that one line down. And this is just the contour I'm doing right now. And he does not have much of a neck. I mean, he's got a neck, but the original Batman, you know, had like pretty buff body. This guy's more of a teenager, right? Or I forget. He was like in high school, I believe, Terry McGinnis. He's got more of Spider-Man's neck. And I could also do the same thing for... One moment, I had to cough. I can also do the same thing with a light source coming from his, you know, his neck as well. I could either give him bigger traps or made that too dark. Forget about it. I'll shade into it later. We'll see what I'm talking about. Anyways, so now we're going to take care of this light source from this side. See, there's two light sources every time this gets shot, usually in the cartoon. And the reason they do that is so you can show the form, you know, because it's a totally black outfit. If they didn't have two light sources, it'd be kind of weird looking, I think. So, obviously they went back and forth between them. So, one second. Ow, I had to cough. Alright. The other thing about these light sources is they're coming from behind. So it's going to roll over here to the hairline. something I missed over here from this light source. This is coming from here. It's just like a big wave of light, right? It's gonna hit this ear as well. And it's also gonna make that shape as well. Now let's take care of the light source from this side. It's coming toward us a little bit. Let's try to make it a little thing coming like an arrow pointing toward us, but totally messed that up. Anyways, the light's coming toward us and this way. Let's take care of this light source. Same thing, because it has this light source. Because there's two light sources, it's going to have a sharp dark on the front of it. It's going to be light on this side, light on this side, and it's going to leave just this dark band right here. But let's trace out where it would hit. Contour. And then the light source would hit here, on his forehead here. The side of his cheek, we're just going over the contour again. And now it's this light source. We're going to take care of that light source. We're going to outline it so that we can shade it in later. Gonna hit this side of the cheek here. Going on the bridge of the nose, over the mouth. And the mouth, I'm going to make it open because he's so dark. At least the white of the teeth will show. Even though in reality it probably wouldn't show, but in the animation it does. You do this also to show that he has lips, you know. Normally I think this would be in light as well from this side. The front of his lip I think would be in light, but because of the animation style to show that he can talk and stuff, they put it into darkness. Alright, let's do something right now, because so you got light coming on this side and light coming from that side. It's also slightly coming toward us, you know. So he is gonna be pretty much in darkness in the front. And so let's shade that in so we know what we're looking at. I might time-lapse this because it's going to be boring. Please, guys, if you guys have seen most of this cartoon, let me know, you know. What you like about it? What didn't you like about it? I really love this cartoon. I thought it was a great cartoon. And I was pretty tough, too, on it. You know what I mean? I'm like, a new Batman. F that, you know. I'm so in love with a regular Batman that... But this guy was pretty cool. They completely made him different, you know. They didn't try to make this guy... They didn't try to make Terry, like... I don't know. They made him a different character. He didn't try to imitate the other Batman. He was a different kind of Batman. And I like that, you know. I enjoyed it. He reminded me more of Spider-Man, I think, is the high schoolish nature. I think Terry McGinnis had some funny one-liners, right? Did he? Not a bunch, but a couple. I have first season of this show on DVD. I should really look at it again. I don't know if they have this on Netflix. Does anybody know if they have this on Netflix? Shading in, continuing to shade in, so we know what we're looking at. Be careful not to shade in the wrong thing, because it's easy to get mixed up. If you want to memorize how to draw a character, you draw You draw the character, maybe from different sides, different angles. But I would say memorize one pose, which is usually what I do. Memorize that character in one pose, and you can draw it out of anywhere. So at least you got that down, and then move on to other stuff. But I would say absolutely know the structure of how they're made. You know what I mean? A triangle for the ears or something like that. That's what I do. See, in the cartoon, they would completely connect these two shapes here, but since I'm drawing it, I don't want to do that. Like I said, this one is he's so strongly based on the light he's in, this character, throughout the series. Let me look at it through the camera. Alright, and that's pretty much it. That's the basic structure on how to draw Batman Beyond, and you can add to this if you want, but his front of his face is very much in shadow, while the rest of him is like, it's all light source really, because of his black outfit. And if you look at black, like material, you know what I mean, like in real life, it kind of does that too. To show off the form, it's going to need different kinds of light, really, usually from more than one angle, not always, but it's different than having just like a white, like just a white cloth all over them, or like a Spider-Man pattern or something like that. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed this, and please, if you have any drawings, post them on Easy Things to Draw Facebook. I'll link it, and I hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Bye.